This is the most ambitiously brave thing they've ever done. Straight up. Like, this is
anything they've ever done.
Ever.
Come
Ever. I'm going to tell you why. You ready? You sitting down?
Yes, I'm down.
Okay. Because you might fucking pass out because you're so stupid. This is the most ambitious, brave thing they've ever done. It's the last song on the album.
Welcome back to Asinine Radio, a weekly podcast where we talk about music, and, well, that's pretty much it. So, let's go!
This is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, a different artist, and we listen to one of the records, we break it down, we try to dissect it the best we can, and we try to have a good time doing it. So my name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, give us 5 stars and 5 stars only. Go to Apple Podcasts, also give us 5 stars on there. Please go do that. All the social media is at Asinine Radio. Tell all your friends and family about us. Subscribe to us. Please go do that. And what do we have? Discord. We have a Discord server. If you want to join that, let us know. We'll send you the link. We have a phone number you can call. It is 503-893-5307. So get into that. Or if you're a little bit lazy, like all of us, you can go into the description of this episode, scroll down a bit, leave us a message on there. That'll be great too. So go do that. And that's all I got for the boring intro. So what are we doing today, Jeff?
Go. We are doing the Mars Voltas. The Mars Voltas.
Jeff, let's get into our origin story of the Mars Volta, and then also our first impressions of this new record, the Mars Volta, or the Gold record. So what do you got? Go.
We've done them like multiple times, and every time I don't remember exactly what it was, but it had to have been through you, and I know it was through you. At some point, I don't remember the first time it was listening to them, but it was through you, and I don't.
You do not remember, I guess.
I don't remember. Do you remember?
I don't remember when you got into them, but I remember when I did.
I don't remember, but I do remember like when we all finally started listening to Deloused, even non-musical friends. Everybody loved Inertiatic. Like, it was fun. It was a fun stuff.
Great song.
It was a fun stuffs, and everybody loved
yes.
it. Everybody loved it, and so it was a part of our growing up at the time, right?
Early high school, yeah.
But I don't remember exactly when it was. So, but I know for sure it was with you. There's no fucking way I would have picked this up in my high school career. There's no way.
Okay, so my origin story. It really kind of obviously starts with At the Drive-In because I did really like A Relationship of Command when that came out. And, they broke up. I didn't really know they broke. Never knew they broke up because this is early 2000s and the internet wasn't what it is today. And so that happened. Tremulant came out. I didn't know it. I had no idea what the fuck that was. I never heard of it. But then what it was K-Rock, actually local rock radio station here, started to play Deloused on the radio. I never really thought of anything about it. And then I went to a free concert at a Best Buy here in Anaheim Hills, Yorba Linda area, where the Distillers and Taproot, if anybody remembers Taproot, they played a free show.
You still love Taproot.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No.
You talk about Taproot the fucking past year like 4 times.
No, not Taproot. I'm thinking of... No, not Taproot. It's, oh my God, what's the other band's name? Trapped. Oh, that's what it was.
Equally as awesome.
Yeah. Well, Taproot was better than Trapped. So it was the Distillers and Trapped. That's who it was. And they played a free show in the Best Buy parking lot. And during that show, they were giving out free CD samplers of what was popular on K-Rock. And Inertiatic was on that. So I had heard that song prior, but that was what really kind of made me realize, oh, this is the same band that was at the, or kind of the same band that was at the drive-in. And then so I kind of I really latched onto that song, and I fucking fell in love with Deloused. And I remember when, way before Francis even came out, like maybe 5 months before Francis came out, a CDR had like leaked online, and it was Francis the Mute. It was the entirety of Francis the Mute, but it was a rough mix of it, and it was only 5 songs. So it was Cygnus, The Widow, Miranda, Lavia, and Cassandra. So it was only 5 songs. Cassandra was one long fucking song, and it was all condensed onto this one CD. And yeah, my friend and I and his stepbrother downloaded it, and we just fucking listened to Francis like fucking crazy. But no, Deloused is really my origin and where I really fell in love with the band and Inertiatic. And I mean, obviously I introduced it to you, and I don't know who else. I remember Kyle. You didn't go to that concert, did you?
No.
That free concert?
No.
So it was just Kyle and I, a friend of the pod, Kyle. That's a name.
That's one of them.
But yeah, him and I had gone to that free concert, and we had gotten that CD sampler from K-Rock at that particular show, and that's really where my origin is with the Mars Volta, and then joining the Comatorium. So anybody listening to the podcast, they'll know about the Comatorium back in the day, and it just that was a fun. That was the Wild West of the internet. I mean, a lot of shit was said and done and shared on that website, on that forum. It was fun. It was a great time for the internet, honestly. A ton of fun. But yeah, that's my origin story. The Deloused era, and yeah, that's what I got. So
Okay,
what do you have for your initial thoughts on the Mars Volta? Go.
So when I first listened to this, I listened to this album 6 times this week. It's not that long.
Jesus Christ.
It's not that long. I still don't know how I feel about this. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know. So my first listen through, I hated it. I thought this was dumb. This is fucking pop. This is stupid. They should have just stayed in their hole. Don't care. Silly. And the second time I listened to it, it's okay, well, this is the most real thing they've ever done. This is coming off the coattails of kind of like the worst era of like Cedric's life, right? All the stuff that's been happening to him personally. And this is very choppy. It's very short. It's very to the point. And like third listen through, it's like, no, fuck that. I don't care. I don't like it. I swear to God, I went back and forth like 3 or 4 times. And I still don't know how I feel about it. But I think that's kind of the point. And then another review that I read, which I thought resonated really well with me, was this is an album written by like survivors. And that's kind of cool because it is written by survivors of not just like a band that has gone through some pretty tumultuous shit for how young they actually are, and for people in their personal lives, like what they've gone through in their personal lives and what they've seen, drug addiction and friends that have gone through drug addiction and suicide, and it's insane how much this band has gone through. And so I'm at the point now where I love this album because of its how earnest it is. I think it's the most honest thing they've done. I think it's the most upfront, honest thing that they've ever done. But I'm at the point now where I do think it's Cedric and Willie, the drummer. This is the Cedric and Willie show, whereas everybody
Really?
else is kind of in the background. I mean, it should come as no surprise that this, like, Cedric is the main focal point of this album is Cedric, right? Every song has aggressively loud vocals. Every song has vocals. Every song has, even when there's no music going on, Cedric is always saying something. So Cedric is for sure the main part of this album, the main driving force of this album. And I think Omar finally took the back seat. I think Omar finally said, oh, you know what? I'll let everybody else kind of do stuff. Let it happen. Mm-hmm. And I'll add little flourishes here and there, a little nuance. And Willie, the dude's he's got a master's in fucking drumming.
I know.
The dude like graduated at the top of his class in fucking drum. The dude knows how to play drums.
In jazz drumming too.
Dude knows
Not
how to
just
play
like
drums.
schmuck drumming.
He's like the fucking resident drummer for America's Got Talent, whatever that is in like Latin America.
Yeah,
He knows how to play drums. And there's only one song on this entire album where I thought he was kind of annoying. Otherwise, I was just like, God damn, dude, the dude is just beyond everybody else. But
he does a lot of different things on this record. It's not just like one kind of genre that he does. Like he's all over the place.
He's playing to Cedric, and Omar's playing to Willie. I think that's what's happening here. I like it. I dig it.
That's fair.
I dig it.
I do too. I really, really do. I'm surprised you picked up on the Willie thing so much. I thought this was more. This is obviously a Cedric-based record, like through and through a Cedric-based record.
Well, he never shuts the fuck up.
No, there's that. Yeah, there's that. But I feel like Ava deserves more credit on this record. Her bass playing's really, really solid. There's a couple songs
when
where
it comes through
parts. There's a couple parts on like that are more electronic based where her bass is almost non-existent because it is electronic based. But when she has her parts, she really fucking shines. She's an underrated bass player, honestly. I mean, what she did with
gotten
Cicatriz,
fucking better though. Like I've not listened to anything of the other side projects and stuff, but comparing like Tremulant to this, like her bass playing has gotten like exponentially better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's
and
fucking
also,
crazy.
I mean, she played on the original runs of Cicatriz as well, because Cicatriz was written before Deloused, so those are her parts. I mean, technically they're Omar's parts, but when you go back and listen to the original demos, it is Ava playing on those, and she does have a certain groove that Flea, Flea is Flea. He's flashy, he's louder, but Ava is more laid back, and she can be like a subtle kind of squirrely thing, And then you hear that on parts of this record. It's awesome.
There's
really awesome.
I mean, there's a handful of parts where I think the bass does come through. The bass lines do come through and drive the song forward. Otherwise, it's Cedric number one, and then most of the time it's Willie. Most of the time it's Willie. That's not a bad thing. I think it's just the way the album is set up. I think this is just a tumultuous time in Cedric's life, and he's coming out as being a new person. He's getting away from the Scientology thing, the Danny Masterson stuff, and there's a lot of that going on. And his lyrics, even though a lot of them don't make sense to me still, and it was tough getting into at least half of these.
Yeah.
But for the other half, like you could actually read his lyrics and say, oh yeah, this seems to clearly be about this and clearly be about this. And that's a new frontier for this dude, because normally it's just fucking gibberish.
I know you can't even decipher most of his lyrics prior to this record. It was a little bit easier than when we did Deloused and Bedlam, but even still, like I had some hard times, figuring out what he was trying to talk about.
There's 4 songs in the album that I wrote. All I wrote was, I don't know.
There was a couple. Yeah, there were a few that I wrote. Like,
know.
I don't know, but it might be this, but I'm probably wrong. But who the fuck knows?
I don't know.
I will say, okay, like, so yeah, obviously it is the Cedric show, but also we got to throw in Omar's production. I feel like he really sat down and just really tried to make a really good, nuanced stereo album, because there's some really cool stuff going on here. And I wrote through a couple of these songs. There are a lot of guitar parts, a lot of synth and soundscape stuff that by themselves are nothing. They're really nothing. But when you throw them into this pot of just noise, it makes something fucking awesome. So I feel like as an arranger, as a producer, this might be one of the best things he's ever done.
I would not disagree. I think Omar is finally. I think Omar's been up his own ass for so fucking long. I just think he has. I think he just thinks like his shit doesn't stink, and he's like the fucking greatest thing that's ever happened to the music world. And this proves me 100% wrong. This proves to me that he can like sit back and let everybody else do their thing. And there are times when I'm like, oh, here we go. Here's a fucking Omar solo. Because you can hear him open up the guitar.
Yeah.
You can hear him start to open it up.
You can hear that kind of swell coming in.
And then he stops, and then nothing. Like, oh my God, wow! Like Happy Gilmore, when Happy Gilmore about to throw the fucking putter. Remember? And here comes the putter throw, and he stops. And like, could this be a new Happy Gilmore? Like that's what happened here. I was, for whatever it's worth. Like, who the fuck am I? I was thoroughly impressed with the way Omar handled himself throughout this album. I was
with his restraint. Yeah,
absolutely. I thought that was amazing, and it made for a record that, by all accounts, should probably be pretty shitty, almost a decade after the last, right? This should come out and be like, oh, this is fucking dumb. But it's pretty goddamn good. It's like pretty damn good.
I was the first listen through. I was a little disappointed, even though I had very low expectations after hearing Graveyard Love, Vigil, and Blacklight. I was disappointed, and I had very low expectations, but like I had talked to you about, and friend of the pod Skip had talked about, when you listen to this record with earbuds or headphones, whatever, it's a different experience. It's a way different experience than listening in your car or listening on vinyl even. The earbuds, I feel like this album was produced and mixed for that kind of experience, very specifically, because the way he pans and does certain tricks with the stereo, it's nothing crazy or insane, but it's just enough nuance and just enough quality arranging of a song that just sets it on another level. And really kudos to his production, because I've always been so critical of his production, especially on Ambitexture. Ambitexture is a fucking mess of a record from a production standpoint and mixing standpoint. It's a fucking mess. But this is something great, and I know that I don't know if you ever went back and listened to At the Drive-In's Inter Alia record, but when you listen to that with just earbuds or headphones on, that's a different it's an entirely different experience. Like, I know you go on bike rides every week or whatever. Next time, go listen to Inter Alia if you haven't already.
How much you do?
Go do it. It really is. It's a much different experience. The way Omar produced and arranged that record and mixed it, you'll have, I feel like you'll have a newfound respect for that record. I know you like it, but I think you'll like it a lot more after that listen through, because I feel like that's where he really hit his production game right there, was during At the Drive-In's Inter Alia.
Like, the guy is a musical genius. He knows how to write music. He knows how to write songs. He's well versed in music. He knows how to properly articulate his thoughts in musical form. But I really think like his ego gets in the way, to where he needs to be louder in the front, the star of the show. Whereas this is the only time, and I haven't listened to all of his 95 albums that you have, his solo stuff. So this is the only time I've ever heard him be the B team. Sit down. It made for a good record.
It made for an excellent record, honestly. And I assume this is the record that you ordered online, right?
So I ordered this twice online. So I ordered it once because I listened to it the first time. I was like, oh, this is kind of good. I think I could like it. Ordered it. And then after I was done with it, canceled it. And then I ordered it again on Amazon. So I ordered it twice, but it should come in the next day or two. I think on Thursday it'll be here.
Yeah, because why would you order through Cladsill, right?
Because I don't know. I don't know if I like this still Right now, I don't know if I like this.
Why?
Because there's a lot of things that I hate about this. Cedric.
Well, so
he's the fucking worst. He's annoying.
You know, there are some Cedric parts that I don't really dig either.
Oh my god!
Should we jump into Blacklight Shines?
Yeah, let's do that one first. We already played it. Let's talk about it.
Is it a banger for you?
Yeah, it's my 3B. I love this song.
Okay, it's my 7B.
Yeah, dude, opening up the record with like a soft salsa type jam, we're already setting the tone.
Yeah.
Already setting the tone. I like it. It's a good mix of later Mars Volta and like kind of jammy, exotic Francis type stuff. It's cool. Cedric's voice, his vocal melody when he drops into that Spanish part, super smooth. And he's not a great singer. Actually, he's a fucking shit singer. He's terrible. But
Wouldn't go that far.
He's
Jesus
a fucking
Christ.
shit singer. He's garbage. He's almost as bad as Tom DeLonge. He's fucking awful.
Okay. Calm yourself.
Tom
young
DeLonge
man.
is not a good singer, my guy. Come on.
No, he's not. He's not. But
silly
Cedric
boy
is
talk.
far better than Tom.
Yeah.
Get
But,
the fuck
but
out of here.
like the way Willie plays the drums is so percussive sounding, right? Mixing with the actual percussive, but then hitting the toms and the tone of it all makes it all blend super well. So that's when you're getting this super solid salsa jam. This is like salsa yacht rock. Is what this album is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
salsa yacht rock is what this fucking album is.
That's quite the description, but it kind of makes sense.
Like,
It does.
Yacht rock is super accessible, kind of bullshit music, but like it's still fun. You still like it. This is salsa yacht rock. Nothing wrong with it. It's super good. And but Ava Gardner in this one, fucking solid bass lines, dude.
Oh yeah.
Super solid bass lines. And this is the first track,
killer.
right? So we're already opening up the album with a lot of different layers, a lot of different tones, a lot of different stuffs. And then even Omar throws it down. Doesn't like ambidextre this bitch all up like he fucking allows that album to be out of control and musical masturbation. I love saying that phrase now. I'm gonna use it all the time. But this is a jam song. This is a soft yacht rock jam song with lyrics to it.
Okay,
Like it.
that's fair.
Dig it. 3B.
3B. So I agree with you. Like the very salsa sounding stuff going on. Ava's bass line is fucking absolute. It's so fucking good. I do wish the percussion was turned down a little bit in the mix and Willie was turned up a little bit. I feel like it would have been I mean, I'm not a producer or mixer by any means, but the percussion was just too loud. That's really what it was. And I feel like it would have been more, it just would have blended better.
I think that was purposeful, though. I think that was a purposeful
so?
attempt at blending drums with the percussion. At what point do you think like him hitting the toms stops and somebody hitting like bongo starts, right? Those instruments are now blending into one new instrument to where it's just like an amalgamation of both into something different. I think it was purposeful. I really do.
I mean, it might have been. I mean, everything I've said about Omar on this record and the last at the drive-in, it could have very much been intentional. So I guess I don't want to talk too much shit on him in that regard. Also, his subtle guitar playing on this, it's obviously never winky. It never really goes anywhere, but it just adds to the soundscape and just the overall sound of the song. And it's perfectly done. Perfectly done. And I love that part of it.
It's a fantastic opener. It's a great thesis statement of the album. Not the best track, but it's setting up what is to become from everybody.
I agree. I totally agree. And also, kind of a little bit of background on this record. When they announced that they were returning, I think this was back in May, if I'm not mistaken, all of a sudden they reactivated their social media. Johan was posting, I know we don't really care for Johan, but he started posting more and he said, there's going to be this black cube in like fucking Highland Park and here in LA or some shit like that. I don't remember where in LA, but it was like 100 degrees out and this black box appeared in the middle of the park and people lined up. It was like a 4 or 5 hour wait and you go in and they played this song, Black Light Shines. This is the first thing that came out. And they played it in this box, and people said it smelled like farts and BO, and just it was a terrible thing to be in there because there was obviously no AC, and the sun was beating down on it all fucking day. But yeah, that was kind of the first, or actually it was the first listen of the new Mars Volta, and it was actually a really cool way to kind of initially promote the record. I thought
it's
it was
a fucking
really neat.
rad gimmick. It's something that's been
is.
lost on music since the digital age.
Yeah. And they were doing some other things. I don't really remember what it was, but a few months ago, like a couple months after that whole box in the park thing happened, they were doing like some like geotagging thing where like you can find some box some random place in the US or something like that, and it would play clips from other songs, I think it was. So it was like this puzzle game that was going on, but I never got involved with it because I just didn't care. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the whole lead up to this record was cool. I kind of like the simplicity of the record from like an artwork standpoint, which is like the gold cover with the black kind of border and just the basic just says the Mars Volta over and over again. I like it.
I hate that shit. So. I think it's dumb. I think it's terrible.
You don't like it?
No, but like if you're gonna go simplicity, then just do like a black background with just the Mars Volta on the front of it. You know, like don't. This is in that middle ground of like, do we church it up or do we dumb it down? I don't know. Let's just do this. Let's have a computer render what we think our ideas are. And that's what this is. I think the cover art's terrible.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Hate
fair. Okay, so let's jump into the lyrics real quick. No, this is definitely the worst artwork they've ever had. Like by far the worst thing they've ever done.
Their best being
the best artwork.
I think it's a tie between Ambitexture and Goliath. I think those are the best things they've done. They're so cool.
I think Ambitexture and Octahedron. Octahedron's that's a rad album cover.
Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with that one. Like at a glance, it's just like, okay, that's cool, but I don't know what it is. That one you really got to kind of like look at for a long period of time. You really got to Andy Warhol that shit at like an art gallery to get the nuance of it all.
True.
Ambitexture right off the bat, that's fucking dope.
It is. Nocturnicate is really simplistic, and I really like the simplicity and the colors of it.
All the dark colors are super cool. I like that.
And it's like the sun, the horizon, or whatever. I think that's really cool.
All the circles, really all the geometrical shape things that they're doing. That's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
All right. So what do we have lyrically on Blacklight Shines?
I thought so. This is one of the few ones that I thought I could actually decipher and pull concepts from. But I think this is rooted deep into the personal life of Cedric and the dealings with the Masterson Scientology stuff. The chorus that says like, if the rain doesn't fall sooner, like that means to me that he's waiting for like the wrath of justice to befall Masterson and the church and Scientology in general. And he says like the train doesn't run sooner. That's like a metaphor for say anything. Yeah. That's like a metaphor when people say shit like let's get this train moving, right? Like let's go, let's see some progress. Let's get it going. And I want to believe this is true because if we're throwing out the first song on the album, the thesis statement, this is a very personal record for Cedric, if not the most personal lyrically that they've ever done. Then I like the idea that this is hitting home to him, even though it's a horrible story that he's gone through. I like the idea that this is hitting so close to home and being very personal. Up front, track one.
I'm with you. I think this is about his fight with Scientology, legally, personally, emotionally, spiritually too. I think this entire record is very, very intimate. With his battle with his former life, essentially, and the rape allegations between Masterson and his wife and amongst other people, and I think in this song he talks about how certain people will pay for what they've done, but he's not doing it in like an outward kind of violent way. He's just pretty much saying like you'll get what's coming to you. And that's really this entire record. It's his awakening from Scientology, like after leaving Scientology, kind of his questioning of Scientology, and then everything that's happened since. Because if you read about all the shit that's happened between him and his wife and his children with Scientology, it's fucking unreal that this shit's happening in this day and age.
That's the best word to describe it. It truly is unreal. That you read it and you think like, there's no way this is real life. There's no way this actually happened to a real person and nobody is talking about it.
Yeah, especially a person who's a celebrity, essentially.
It's just fucking dogs, dude. I tell Renee this all the time.
They killed his fucking dogs.
I tell Renee this all the fucking time because we have like the neighborhood. I'm sure like everybody has a neighborhood app. But like in the neighborhood app, people post all the time. I hear gunshots. Like the people break into my house. Nobody gives a fuck, right? But then you post something like, "Oh, this dude was kicking a dog. This guy was choking his dog." That fool's fucking arrested within 12 hours, because people don't give a shit about humans, but they care about animals. And I just don't understand how this was not reconciled, was not figured out faster. It still is not really figured out, actually. So I just don't understand how this is still left open. Unsolved mystery status. It boggles my mind.
Yeah, from the stories I've read, they physically attacked the dogs. They also poisoned, I think, one of the dogs as well. I mean, it's really sad to talk about, but I mean,
tossed like fucking poison over the fence in the guise of like cheese. Of course, the dog's gonna fucking eat the cheese. Cheese is delicious.
Yeah, they had to leave the house. I mean, they had to leave the house and go to live in a hotel for a little bit because they were constantly being harassed, being filmed. Amongst everything else. It's just, it's insane that a cult like Scientology can still exist in this capacity. It's fucking unreal.
In this day and age, right?
Yeah. It's fucking insane. But, I mean, we'll talk about it more as we get through some of these songs. But, yeah, that's just a preview. Now that we're done with Blacklight Shines, what is your 1B?
My 1B may come as a surprise to most of y'all, but my 1B is the last song, The Requisition.
Really? Holy shit. This was almost a banger for me. This didn't quite reach it, but it was a good song, and I do want to talk about this one.
The song went two ways for me. Once the first time I was like, this is fucking dumb. I don't understand like why you would just end a song like this. This is stupid. This goes nowhere. I don't like it. And then subsequent listens, this is fucking fantastic. This is the most ambitiously brave thing they've ever done. Straight up. Like this is
anything they've ever done.
Ever. I'm gonna tell you why. You ready? You sitting down?
Yes, I'm down.
Okay. Because you might fucking pass out because you're so stupid. This is the most ambitious, brave thing they've ever done. It's the last song on the album.
God, you sound like the news. But anyway, continue.
Why? What part of that? Are you sitting down?
No, just continue.
Sorry. I hope you only paid for the edge of your seat because you're only gonna use the. Yeah, dude, what is that? What do you say there?
That could have been a good joke, but you fucking destroyed it. That was terrible.
I hope you didn't pay full price for the seat that you're on because you're only going to use the edge of it. That's what I don't even know
that
how
could
the
have been funny.
Fucking joke goes, but that's how it goes.
That could have been funny if you delivered.
Okay, so this is the last song on the album, longest, of course, and Cedric actually trying to sing like some kind of professional karaoke singer here. That was cute. That's fun. This one's got a good groove to it, though. A lot of cool stuff's going on. He was throwing down some cool slides. So we have like the beginning and the end of the album. Everybody's like throwing down like good shit. Omar's at it again. What's cool about his noodling here, though, it's iconic Omar style noodling for like 80% of his leads, but then it transitions into that upward, like he goes upwards on the guitar for softer, more daintier, sustained single notes. So it's that metronome arthritis, that whole picking thing that he does. That's the iconic Omar thing. But then he's hitting like these sustained single notes. He's ding, 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 which he doesn't do a lot. Doesn't do that a lot because Omar has like ADD or something. He's fucking, you got to keep going. But the third verse really starts to build this song pretty damn nicely. There's this crescendo you can hear and you can feel nicely. Build this song nicely.
No, you said pretty gang nicely or something like
pretty
that.
Pretty gang? Yeah, okay. Pretty gang. I don't care. Pretty gang nicely, too. Yeah, that's fine, too. That's an adjective. Gang is, I'll throw it out there. You start to hear this crescendo. You start to hear this build. You can feel it. And it's the last song we hear them building to this huge solo part, this massive ending with lots of noise and sounds, and it just ends. Just gone. Yeah. It's just done. And when I first heard that, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you can imagine me, dude. Like, me and my peanut brain, my 5 second attention span, my critical mindset. Like, what the fuck is this? Right? And so then I'm getting into it a little bit. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, you know what? What else have we seen in media just end like this? The Sopranos. And I thought about The Sopranos. I was like, why the fuck?
Love that indeed.
So why the fuck do I need to be spoon-fed my entire life? Why do I need to be spoon-fed every single outcome? Why do I need the drop? Why do I need that crescendo to go somewhere, to drop to where they are telling me what to feel? So when I really thought about that, the fucking ending of this, where it just stopped, it's done, we're over. If this is the last thing we ever hear from the Mars Volta, ooh, baby boy,
it could be a good way to go out.
I will absolutely love it. I think that is ballsy. I think that is fucking ambitious. I think that's the most ambitious thing they've ever done. Everything they've done is great, right? At least good, I should say. Octahedron, whatever.
God,
but
so
everything
annoying.
that they've done is good. Everything they've done is good. Nothing has been like ambitious. They've changed the scope of like prog and prog metal, yes, but it wasn't like ambitious. It was just the general direction of the music at the time, and they were just doing it faster than anyone else has jumped on board, and doing it better than anyone else has ever done it. This coming back a decade later, dropping an album that is different than anything they've ever done, and ending this album on a Sopranos ending, I think it's fucking unreal. I think it's absolutely unreal. I think they dropped a bomb on everybody and was just kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like doing the rest of this. I'm out. Ballsy.
I get it. I totally
Ballsy.
understand what you mean there. Totally. And really, this song is all over the place musically. It's not that it's different genres kind of thrown in. It's just there's no real transitions between certain parts, and they just kind of do it for the hell of it, or they switch it up for the hell of it. There's some killer heavier bass lines. They like some distorted bass lines, which is really cool. Something Juan did it on Ambitexture and a few other songs here and there. But for an album like this to kind of throw down a heavier distorted bass line is a little strange, but it worked fucking really well. And the chorus melody and music is so bizarre. It really sounds like nothing they've ever done before. I've never heard Cedric sing like that. It was really something unique. And
he's actually singing. He's trying to sing like a professional singer.
I get maybe that's what it is.
He's doing the little vibrato thing.
It wasn't that. It was just the melody line itself. It was just the song itself. It wasn't even how he was singing. It was just the melody. I never thought that they would add that kind of style. I don't even know what the style is, but that style to their music. But it worked well. It worked great. And really, this song, drum-wise, is much more electronic than a lot of pretty much anything they've ever done. And even on this record, it's more of like a techno kind of thing, maybe a house kind of thing in certain parts. And I don't know. I think this is a really good song. It's not a banger for me, but it almost became my 8B. So I don't know. That's what I got. That's what I got musically on this one.
That's fine. I think this is. They've never done anything like this before. They've never left you hanging like that. They've always resolved the tension. This is
in a way, yeah.
This is unresolved tension. We've never heard them do this before, ever. And I'm not as big of a Mars Volta fan as you or friend of the pod Skip, but to the best of my knowledge, they have never left unresolved tension the way they did this song.
I mean, I'd really have to think about it, but yeah, I don't know. You're right. And that's what makes this is just such a great evolution for the band. Yeah, it's not as crazy and proggy as everything that they've ever done, but it's still a great progression, which makes it even cooler. It really does make it cooler. That's why
it's my 1B. I love this song. It's amazing.
Well, I'm just saying on the album in general. Not just saying this song. I'm saying the album in general.
Oh, there's some stuff on here I don't like, but it's fine.
Yeah, there's one song that's almost a stinker.
Ooh, which one? Which one's almost a stinker? Go.
Should we move on from Requisition?
Yeah.
Vigil. Vigil is the almost stinker.
Oh, yeah, that sounds okay. Yeah.
I mean, when I heard that song,
yeah.
I couldn't believe that they wrote a song like this. I really fucking hated this song when it came out. It's grown on me a little bit, only because where it's placed in the context of the record, you can get through it and it's good. But that chorus, that melody in the chorus is just, oh God, it's just bad.
I think the chorus, the melody's pretty catchy. It's catchy, but it's still not good. No. I really don't think it's that great of a song at all. I also think this is like his version of a love song. So I really don't care about this song
Like
at all.
lyrically?
Yeah.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
See, I got something entirely
I'm
different.
super curious for sure because these lyrics are fucking beyond my scope of intelligence.
Yeah. So the lyrics were very difficult for me this week. But so this is probably completely wrong, but this is what I got. I really think it's about the realization that Scientology was actually evil and deceitful, either from his perspective or his wife's. And this song is the clarity of either him or her coming out of Scientology, realizing, this is what we've always thought is wrong, and that chorus, because that chorus is very happy sounding. It's very positive. It has that kind of airiness, and that's where I think the lyrics kind of match that chorus and that clarity of coming to that realization that they were dumb.
So
essentially,
I think I started where you were. It's really in the outro when all is over. I'll be with you and say what you want, but I'll be with you. That's when I got like the love thing of it. But I think I agree. I think it's the realization of this is not who we are now, or this is who we were then is not who we are now. But no matter what, I'm going to be with you. That's the love part of it. But I think I do agree with the beginning part of what you were saying. Who we are not then, the Scientology thing is translating now to no matter what, I'll still be with you. And that's where the love thing came into place.
But see, the love thing makes sense because I mean, I don't know too much about Scientology, but it seems like a very selfish religion. Like the individual is all about the religion itself. It's not about the caring or love for other people. So the clarity comes when they leave the religion, they realize we have each other to care about. And that's where the outro comes in. When all is over, I'll be with you. It's that realization that, in the end, we still have each other, and that's all we have. Like it is that realization that it's not about the religion. It's about themselves and each other and their love for each other. So it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
love song.
It is a love song, but I mean, it still goes hand in hand with that, the leaving of the religion.
It's a love for their Scientology. I know. I get it. Correct.
It's all about that.
What is your 1B?
Graveyard Love.
Okay.
That song when it came out, it was the second single, if you want to call it a single. But I instantly love this song. I love how electronic it sounded. They had kind of dabbled in this with Nocturnicate. Obviously, Omar had done a lot of electronic stuff with his solo stuff, and some of it was fucking amazing. But it was really cool to hear this kind of modern, almost Radiohead-esque style, and I thought they did it so well. There's so much layering in the song as well, and I kind of what I was hearing was it was mostly all electronic. Maybe he was running his guitar through, all these different effects, different effect pedals, but everything about the song is electronic, and the production of this is it's top notch. It really is top notch.
Okay.
So
okay.
I think I mean the vocals too. They're not overbearing. They're not too much. It doesn't sound like Cedric's really trying too hard. He's more just playing to like the subtleness of the song, because it is a very subtle song. It doesn't necessarily go anywhere, but that's fine. It's like Radiohead. Radiohead never really goes anywhere.
Oh. All right. This is not. Don't.
I did. So, where does this sit for you?
Keep Radiohead's name out your mouth, as Will Smith would say. This is. I thought this was a perfect transition between Black Light Shine into Graveyard Love. The electronic sort of intro throws back to what I thought was some cool de facto type stuff too, which will come into play later on. It's heavy. It's 80s. It's weird. It's eclectic, and the organ is even a little preachy at times. The organ's kind of up there. It's up there in the mix. It's loud. It's aggressive. It's like here's an organ, like you're going to church. That's cool. And that's
I like
during
it,
the
yeah.
time where everyone else is slowing down to a crawl. Willie drops some really tight hi-hat stuffs when he finally comes in. And it's song building. It builds a song very nicely. The last part of the song, though, has that synth sound. This is my 4B. This song's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The last part of the song has that synth sound that kind of sounds like it's mimicking a horn. But I even went back and listened. It's the same fucking sound as Finger Trap from De Facto.
No, is it really?
I swear to God, dude, I fucking listened to it back to back. I was like, that
Yeah,
thing.
That too.
Dude, that's the same fucking, whatever synth they're using. I don't know if it's intentional. God, I hope it's intentional. That would be such a cool throwback. But it's the exact same sound as Finger Trap.
I mean, I think it makes sense. When it comes to the lyrics on this song, there were a couple songs on here where I feel like it's a throwback or an homage to members who have passed away, like Jeremy Ward, obviously Ike Owens. This could be a throwback to Ike Owens because lyrically, real quick, I have on this one, I feel like it's him cutting ties with his musical past, that being At the Drive-In, early Mars Volta, De Facto, everything like that, and viewing it just as that. And not in a bad way, just paying homage to that. And that kind of makes sense. If you're getting like an Ike feel from this, I can totally, I understand that. Because there are other moments on this record where I hear a lot of De Facto.
Yes.
Not in this song particularly, but there are a couple songs that I hear a lot of De Facto, and him kind of throwing back to the past, his musical past, and this is a big musical past thing. And then the song being called Graveyard Love.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just makes sense.
See, like
Since he's not being as abstract musically or lyrically as he used to be.
I don't know what the fuck he was talking about lyrically, and some of the comments and some of the things I read was kind of like along the lines of we live in a world where you'd rather see things be destroyed than to just let it be. Then just let it be, right? Let it be something you don't want it to be. I'd rather see you die than be with somebody else, type of thing, like that old bicycle metaphor where it's my bike. No, it's my bike. Okay, well then the only rational thing is to cut it in half. And one person says, no, I'd rather you just have it than see it destroyed. That's the true owner of that bicycle. I'd rather see it destroyed than be with somebody else. The kind of the opposite of what I was saying there. And I don't know. That's what I got from this. But I do kind of like the idea of where you're going with, and maybe that's either poor songwriting on Cedric, or that's just fucking phenomenal songwriting on Cedric. I don't know which one it is.
I would like to go with the latter.
Well, of course you would like to go with the latter because you fucking come on all these fucking guys.
These are
You
my
love these
boys.
people so much. I know, but really though, is that actually like good songwriting? I don't know. Is it bad songwriting? I don't know. It is just it's just so.
Are you going to ask yourself
ambiguous.
questions and answer them?
I'm going to because I don't know. I told you in the beginning. I don't know if I like this album or not. I don't know. I've canceled it already once. Okay, I might cancel it again.
I'll just make you so mad that you'll cancel it again.
I legit canceled this album already once. I was like, no, this is fucking no. Why did I order this? This is $25 of my life gone. I've never been so perplexed.
You're going to keep it.
I've never been so perplexed.
You'll keep it.
But it's only like I will only keep this because of the report card, because I know what I like about this band. I know what I dislike about this band, right? I know that I love Francis. I know that I really, really dislike Octahedron. I know that I really, really dislike that era, that style. But then they put out this and it's like, oh, well, the fuck is this? So I don't know. It's too soon.
Really overall, there are a lot of ups and downs on this record. Like it starts off really strong and then it dips really low, really fast. Not to say that the lows are terrible or bad, but it's an emotional roller coaster. That's what this record is.
The first 3 tracks are B's for me, and then the next 2 are OKs. And then
short story isn't it?
And then I have a B, the KDOS, and then I have 1, 2, 3 OKs, and then a B, and then 2 OKs, and then 2 Bs.
Yeah, see, this record's all over the
Up
place.
and down. Yeah.
It really is an emotional roller coaster. And I found every time I've listened to this, I felt the same way. Like, I'm super stoked as it's going along. And then I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of droning along. And then I'll hear something that'll kind of, I don't know what it is that triggers my mind. And I just fucking love it. I don't know, man. It's a truly kind of complex record. In its simplicity, it's complex. Which sounds so fucking stupid.
I think what it comes down to is like, this is a well-crafted, like, Tarantino movie. This is a movie that on the surface is like, that's fine. But then, no, watch it again. Watch Reservoir Dogs one more time. Like, watch it again. Watch all the fucking crazy nuance that is happening. And then you realize, holy shit, there's a lot going on in this one scene that I never even fucking seen. That the whole, I mean, I don't want to get into Reservoir Dogs, but like, just watching a movie for the first time and you think like, that's fine, whatever. And then you watch it again and again, and you pick it up more and more and more and more and more and more stuffs. That's what this is. Yeah. And sometimes the stuff you pick up, you hate, because the third, fourth listen to this, I was picking up stuff like, dude, I didn't hear this the first time I listened to it, but I did now, but I fucking hate that. Now that banger is now a fucking almost stinker for me because I do not like what you did there, but I respect it.
Yeah, and what's so insane with this record is it's also how you listen to it. I know we've talked about it. Listening to this with earbuds or headphones is a much different experience than listening to it on vinyl, than listening to it in your car or anything like that. Like, every way of listening to this has to me at least, had a very unique perspective and or a unique experience for me. But yeah, I mean, when you really look back at it too, every Mars Volta is this way. You listen to any of the records and you're never going to really understand the full picture of it until you listen to it many more times. Even the Octahedron, like, I mean, I've heard that record. I've heard Octahedron dozens of times. But this week's listen of it was different because I hadn't listened to it with earbuds in probably since it came out. You know, and just hearing just the different subtleties of it and just kind of going into that record with a different perspective just really changed a lot of my conceptions of that record. Nocturnicate was the same way. It's always been a very loud electronic based record that's been kind of obnoxious. But this week, it changed. My perspective changed on that record as well. Yeah, there's still at the bottom of my list, my rankings, but I have more of a respect for those records and a better liking of those records than I did 2 weeks ago. So I don't know. I think this really goes along with every Mars Volta record because your viewpoints are going to change. And when you think about it too, Deloused, our viewpoints on Deloused change. Like, our favorite songs, they change all the time.
Yeah.
And we've heard that record 100 times.
I mean, Deloused is for sure like the grilled cheese of this band, right? It's the one you can go back to when you feel lost or whatever, because it's comforting. Like, God, like I'm not even as big of a Mars Volta fan, but Deloused is something I can go back to, and every single song makes me feel comfortable.
Yes, exactly. But then your favorite of that album will change, every so often.
It's true. I mean,
like Drunk Ship right now is my favorite, but I mean, a year ago I would have said Areotarca is my favorite. Signatures was my favorite a year before that. It's just crazy how your views on an album can change so drastically.
We're talking about the Mars Volta here. And
I know the gold album. Yeah,
my views with the gold record. Oh, there's only one gold record there, buddy.
That's a bouncy souls bit.
Hold on there,
dude.
But like, my viewpoints have changed like 6 times in the past week, and I've never. I'm
but
just
that's
racking
a cool
my
thing,
brain
though,
real
right?
quick. And I love that. I love that I can talk to somebody on Tuesday and say, oh yeah, fuck yeah, listen to this record, and then on Thursday, they come back and like, oh, I hate this record. And yeah, you're right. I gave a bad judgment. That's on me. I fucking actually hate that record. And the following Tuesday, like, you know what? No. I'm back on the bandwagon. I actually love this record because we're evolved. I mean, most of us, except for you, because you're stuck in your "Got the Life" is the greatest song of all time. Most of us are ever evolving stage of learning. Like we love taking in information, relating it to like current events, our current feelings, and then also like a little bit of nostalgia, and that's fine. And then like moving forward. And that's what this album is. This album is entirely that. This album is a lot of nostalgia, bringing At the Drive-In stuff, bringing in De Facto, bringing a lot of these other aspects of the Mars Volta, but then also like attributing to like current events. His battle with Scientology, his battle with Danny Masterson, his feelings, not only of how he feels, how Cedric feels, but like how his significant other feels about this stuff too. And there's a song on here where there's a lot of empathy here because he feels really, really bad because he doesn't know how to talk to his significant other about this stuff. And that's, lyrics aside, like I've never fucking heard Cedric ever say anything about this lyrically because his lyrics have always just been like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, they've always been so cryptic that
they're fucking so real ambiguous. Here. They're real here. And like they were sad and like I felt bad. Like I was bummed. I've never felt bummed listening to the fucking Mars Volta.
I know, because it's always so out there. It's always like an overarching story, you know. It's always just. But here,
how does the music personal. Make me feel? Now it's like, how is Cedric going to make me feel? And as much as I dislike Cedric's vocals because I really could care less about him. This was this was a ride. This was a ride.
Yeah, that's a good one. So what do you got for your 1B?
My 1B was the last song, The Requisition.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So what's your 2B then?
The one right before it, baby. Collapsible Shoulders.
Are you serious?
Collapsible Shoulders.
Shit, that is not a banger.
Do you got shoulders? Because they're collapsible.
I do.
This one.
You're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
It's so good. That's so good. I love this intro. I love when Cedric drops in. I think it's heavy. I think the soundscape is super heavy. It's kind of dubsteppy in a way.
That's what I put too,
dude.
It's again, a very subtle dubstep.
And then like this is why this song is fucking great. Okay, baby boy. Okay, put your shoulders up. Put your collapsible shoulders up. Like you're fucking The spoken word part, like right. Omar's noodling.
Yeah.
It's all a throwback to At the Drive-In. It's all a throwback. It's a tactful and fucking rad way of throwing it back to like At the Drive-In-esque. And this is what we do. This is what we do. It's a short song leading up into the outro. Let's throw a little fan service in there, right? Like Last Jedi stuff. Let's just flick a little fan service in there. Let's make people happy. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Let's circle around a little bit. So but I loved it. But I fucking absolutely loved it. Collapsible Shoulders. 2B.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like I said, this is not a B for me. I do like that. That's very subtle dubstep beat. The use of like the whole stereo kind of dynamic thing going on that Omar was doing production wise was awesome. Like he fucking nailed it on this song. But outside of that, I mean, nothing really stands out to me, but I know upon subsequent listens, I'm going to find things I really, really enjoy about this song. But right now, it's good. It's a good song. I wouldn't change. I honestly wouldn't change any of these songs, except maybe Vigil. But I don't know. We haven't played a song in a while. Should we play this song? Jump into the lyrics?
Right. I don't know. I actually have no lyrics. This is one I don't know.
Okay, so lyrically, from what I get, is it's about kind of being in a dark place, and the people around you, they've always said that they're there for you, but in the end, he realizes that they've all lied and betrayed him, and I feel like this is him on his way out of the Scientology cult, and realizing all these people that promised him so much have all turned their backs on him, and this is him reaching that point of clarity, I guess is the best way to put that. That's what that is.
That makes sense because like the whole like leave no, like I never heard you say leave no man behind type of thing.
Yeah.
Where you feel you're part of a team, you're part of a group, you're part of something. but then they treat you like shit. And it's like, well, now that I think about it, you never said leave no man behind. Like, you never said we're actually like family. We're actually a team. We're actually something. So, I don't know, that kind of makes sense.
And I think there was I can't remember what song it is off the top of my head, but there's another song where it talks about how he was told that, or he felt like an outcast because he was more of an introvert and he kept his feelings inside, and everybody else in the group were kind of, really expressing themselves and being taken seriously. But he was the outcast. He was thrown out to the side and forgotten about by the community that he thought was there for him. I can't remember the song. Is the Spanish song? Do you know what song I'm talking about?
Well, there was two Spanish songs now. There was the Que Dios, and then there was the...
That's what I was thinking, yeah. Que Dios. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I was thinking Bumblebee Man.
Bumblebee
Man from The Simpsons.
I don't remember that.
Oh, my God. The big Mexican dude in the B outfit.
No.
He goes, ay, Dios mío. It says something like super funny in a Spanish accent. All right,
I don't remember, but
just because I researched it. Do you know how John? Do you know? Hey man, do you know how John met the Mars Volta? At least Omar. And do you know that story?
John was playing with his band Golden, and they came across, or they were at a show and Golden was playing, and that's when they saw him play live.
Ooh,
right?
Who saw who play live?
Well, they saw Golden play live. I don't know if it was Cedric or Omar, but one of them did.
And then they met afterwards?
I think that, yeah, I think so. I could be wrong. I don't know.
I mean,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
just of course I'm going to correct you, because just based off this one Reddit thread, which is now gospel. Here's what I got, right? Anthony Kiedis saw Mars Volta play the Troubadour before their first album, and he was blown away. And he told it was some like this band called Autolux. They were playing with De Facto at this big bill, and then Anthony Kiedis told John Frusciante, like, "Hey, dude, you should go check out this band. This is kind of your style." And so Frusciante went to go watch De Facto play, and was like really intrigued. And then after the show, Omar, because in LA you can just after the show talk to fucking whoever the fuck you want, I guess. Omar was talking to Frusciante, because Frusciante approached Omar, and they bonded over their love of like some Spanish or French filmmaker. And they're like, "Oh yeah, I love Jacques Cousteau." That's the only fucking foreign artist.
French person you know.
Only French person I know. I love Jacques.
Jacques Cousteau was an explorer.
Jacques Cousteau can never get this low, right? For doing like fucking Jedi mind tricks.
He was a fucking. He wasn't even like a fucking artist by any means.
Jacques Cousteau can never get
He's
this
an explorer.
low. So Omar and Frusciante hooked up afterwards. Omar had no idea who Frusciante was. He heard of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, of course, but didn't know this was the dude. And so they were like, "Oh yeah, I love this. You should come over to my house." And then so Frusciante comes over. I think Omar went to Frusciante's house, and he's like, "Oh, you have a fuck ton of guitars. Like, are you a musician?" He's like, "Yeah, I played for the Red Hot fucking Chili Peppers." And Omar's like, "Oh, they're a pretty cool band." And so they kind of jammed a little bit, and then they realized like, "Oh, that's really cool." So Omar gives him a tape of Tremulant, kind of like as it was coming out, before it came out. And the next time they met, like days later, Frusciante had memorized the entirety of the album on guitar and told Omar where he could improve. He said, "Oh, I love the way you did like this A minor fifth chord with an augmented seventh in this part." And Omar's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he was just so intrigued by how much musical knowledge Frusciante had that blossomed into this massive relationship. Again, based off of this Reddit thread, but this Reddit thread's super dope because there's a lot of sources, cited sources. There's interviews, there's video interviews, there's Chad Smith interviews where he says, "Oh yeah, fucking Frusciante met him at this place," and I think that's really cool. I think that's really cool.
I think there's some of that is real, but some of the timeline doesn't match up. At least to my understanding, So De Facto was before the Mars Volta. The Mars Volta formed as a part of De Facto, or De Facto. It was kind of one and the same.
This was 2002. This was 2002.
So you also said Kiedis saw them play at the Troubadour. That is like one of their first show. As their first show.
It wasn't their first show. He just saw the Mars Volta play at the Troubadour.
So their first show ever was at Chain Reaction, and that first show, John Theodore was the drummer in the band, and their original drummer was Blake Fleming, and they had recorded demos that eventually became Tremulant and Deloused as well, with Blake Fleming, and then they fired him because he was a total asshole douchebag, and then they hired Theodore, and they found Theodore through the band Golden. So I think some of that is right. Like maybe I think the meeting of Frusciante it sounds right, but I think that predates the Mars Volta. I think that is more De Facto era prior to Theodore joining the band, or even Fleming joining the band, because Ava wasn't a part of De Facto, because Omar played bass. And Cedric played drums.
In this specific, I'll just send you the fucking Reddit thread. But like in this Reddit thread, it talks about how Frusciante did not know about At the Drive-In in 2001 because of an interview that was done.
And that could be true.
But already performed with them by like August of 2002. And according to John, which is it's cited in a different source, Anthony's the one that saw the Mars Volta play at the Troubadour. And so the first actual meeting of Omar and Anthony was, I think maybe it was actually De Facto, but it was a fundraiser event, and the band Autolux was there, and the Silvers and Pickups were there. And it's funny because the Reddit thread in question shows a picture of a fan site of Silver Sun Pickups, but on that ticket it shows like De Facto there, and that's 2002, and so that was
It must have been Theodore wasn't even a part of the band at that point. I mean, he wasn't even related to the band at that point, because there are popular videos floating around of Frusciante playing guitar with De Facto, both in Long Beach and in various clubs. So he played with De Facto live, and then after that, the Mars Volta was formed. At least that's my understanding of it.
I think it's interesting that two things, right? One, Anthony Kiedis is the one that
I don't believe it's Kiedis.
That's what Frusciante says. There's an article
Frusciante's stupid.
There's an article that cites that, but I think it's interesting that Kiedis is the one that's out there putting the feelers out, probably just because he wants to probably show up to shows with no shirt on, and then probably, two. Yeah. That they bond over like you don't meet somebody after the show and like, oh, do you want to hang out at my house at some point? Like, yeah, I don't know. It just sounds weird unless you like some obscure Jacques Cousteau fucking French artist. You keep saying Jacques Cousteau? Because it's the only French person I know. Should I say Napoleon? I'll say Napoleon. Don't we say Napoleon?
You can say whatever you want.
I literally only know 2 French people. I'm thinking right now. I don't know anybody else.
That's fine.
I'm still thinking. How many French people you know? Name one.
Jacques Cousteau. Let's just say that.
Exactly. No, I don't know any fucking French people. He probably wasn't even French. He's probably like Austrian or something. I don't fucking know. I thought it was fun. I'm going to send it to you right now.
All right. Yeah, send it to me. I'll review it and make the corrections later.
How many fucking French people do you know?
I don't know.
See? That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God, I was trying to think the French president.
Some tennis player, right? Isn't like Andre Agassi, was he French?
No, he would. Oh, that's
was Federer,
isn't it?
I don't fucking know,
is
dude.
Swiss. Wait, what the fuck?
I guess I don't know.
And Macron is the president of France.
And even more important is I don't care. So therefore, all French people are now Jacques Cousteau or Napoleon.
That's it. That's all.
Oh no, fuck that! I do know French people. The Chunk, No Captain Chunk. That's a hardcore, metalcore, pop punk French band.
Or
they're from France.
Or Karim Benzema, very famous French soccer player.
Well, I mean, okay, all right.
Well, he is French, is he
No,
not?
you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Is he not one of the greatest French players of all time? That he is.
But if you're not Jacques
What?
Cousteau, I
What,
just don't
say it.
care. If you're not Jacques Cousteau, I don't care.
Okay, that's fine.
Because Jacques
Screaming.
Cousteau could never get this low.
All right, so what that was your 2B, right?
That was my 2B, yeah. Collapsible shoulders.
All right, my 2B is No Case Gain.
No case gain. That's my 6B.
There you go. This is this starts like an 80s new wave kind of song with that beat and synth, but then once Cedric comes in, it really takes a turn. Like it really changes. His vocals remind me a lot of his vocals on Inter Alia, the last At the Drive-In record. The way he kind of is like, it's not rapping, it's that post hardcore style that they're best known for. And that Mellotron too. I think it's a Mellotron. That kind of just plays throughout the entire song is fantastic. There's so many ups and downs in the song. There's so many different stylings in this one, but it never gets aggressive. It never gets wild like At the Drive-In or any Mars Volta. It's truly, truly something unique. And the bass line that kicks in after that first verse is fucking killer. It's so goddamn good. I think this is just a truly unique song on this record. It really, really is.
This one's crazy short, too. Like, they get a lot done in a very short amount of time.
It's true. Yeah.
I like it.
And they've always done
a lot
it.
of cool leads that go someplace. A lot of things happen. I think it's a great song.
It's like you said, they can fit so much into one song, and it's crazy how well they do it, because they not only do they do it in this song, but when you throw it back to Bedlam and Goliath, the song Wax Simulcar, however you pronounce that stupid fucking song name.
That's good.
That's another thing too. That song is 2.5 minutes, but it encapsulates everything the Mars Volta had done up until that point into 2.5 minutes, and it's a fucking wild ride. And this is another one of those songs. Obviously not nearly as wild as that, as Wax, but it still has it showcases a lot of what they're good at, but really evolved it, or had it evolve, or I don't know how you would say that, but it's a killer fucking song. Should we play a little bit of it? What do you want to do? We haven't played a song in a while.
I was laughing at Evolved It.
Evolved, yeah, that sounds
like
really
it's a
stupid.
Pokemon.
I know. I know. That's why I said that after, that's what I said after.
You gonna evolve it? Nah.
I'm gonna evolve it, yeah.
I'm gonna wait so we can learn the TMs faster. Learn this
I'm
fucking
gonna.
words faster.
I'll press B when it's trying to evolve, so it won't evolve.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to play, you play. I don't know.
Do we want to play any songs? I don't know. We haven't done anything.
I feel like we're just riffing right now.
We are.
Whenever we
It's
get
good
into these
riff.
little back and forth like riff modes, and we just kind of like go. Meh, 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 meh,
That's
fly through
fine.
these
I mean,
songs. I don't know. What do you want to do?
all right, fine. So we will play it. So here's a little bit of No Case Gain from the Mars Voltas. Man, I just can't believe they've put out new music. It's just so fucking cool. It's so rad. I love this band. So lyrically, what do you have on this song?
I thought this was about Cedric's break from Scientology. The whole no case gain term. I've never heard. I never knew about. I didn't know. But apparently no case gain is a specific term people in the Scientology world know, and that just I think relates to a person who's a lost cause, someone that's like worthless to the Scientology cult, I guess.
That's what I got from this, from what I was briefly reading. Yeah, and this is kind of what I was referring to earlier. It was about him being kind of an introvert and being that hopeless case and being an outcast within Scientology. It's pretty sad. I mean, when you really think about it, you join this self-help group almost, and they just completely turn their back on you and then fuck you over the rest of your life.
That was one of the reasons the Mars Volta broke up, right? Was because he was kind of like getting a little too fanatical in his religious beliefs, and it was kind of clashing with Omar, and it was just like, okay, bro, we got to just call this then.
Yeah, they never outwardly said that, but it's been kind of, subtly said. Let's just say that.
I mean,
who knows? What do we know?
That's not with most people, because we don't know most people. but a lot of higher up celebrities who join like the Scientology cult religion thing that happens.
Mm-hmm.
We see them ostracize themselves from their family and friends because of it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man,
really
like
sad.
we have never seen anything aggressive like the way Cedric and his family's been treated. I just no other celebrity, no other person in the spotlight has been attacked the way he has, and I cannot fucking believe that it's not talked about more. It's not aggressively pursued.
Yeah, I mean, when you've kind of read about it and read other people's experiences, they don't think it's like worth the harassment. And also, not only them, but many, many other people who have tried to go to the police about it, they just ignore it.
It's the
and a lot of people
aspect,
believe that it's
dude.
been paid off. They've
It's
been paid
the
off.
animal aspect. Like my mom
Yeah.
lives in Anaheim, and there was a guy, and she lives over like in this nicer apartment complex run by the Irvine Company, but
Mhm.
it's still in fucking Anaheim.
It's nice.
It's still in fucking Anaheim.
But it's like the nicer part of Anaheim. It's right next to the stadium.
That's
Next
not
to the
nicer
fire
part.
thing.
It's still fucking Anaheim. It's not nice.
But it's not West Anaheim.
No part of Anaheim is nice except for Anaheim
Well,
Hills.
It's still nicer than West Anaheim. Let's just say that.
But it's just crazy. Like people can post all day long about how their neighbor is jumping their fence to do whatever, or people are breaking into their cars. Nobody gives a fuck. But this
Yeah.
guy fucking was caught on camera like kicking a dog.
Oh, I remember. I saw that video on KFI.
He got caught like fucking 10 hours later. Done.
Yeah,
Actually, he
everybody
turned himself
downed him.
in. Turned himself in. Because
Yeah, because that video went viral. It was so fucked up.
it was super fucked up. Because when you attack an animal, like when you attack you can kill, murder, rape anybody. Nobody cares. But when you hurt an animal, people fucking get all up in arms about it. And I don't understand like why nobody cared about like Cedric's dogs.
I mean, I think it comes down to money.
And that was a fucked up story. Like when I read that shit, and I was like, wow, dude, that makes me think like, what if people did that to my dogs? Because you could easily throw shit over my fence
Yeah.
that is wrapped in cheese and bologna or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. People are crazy out there. What
Yep.
would you do? You can do anything.
I know. It's
Helpless.
It's so sad. It's really fucked up.
Why is nobody talking about it? Why does nobody care? I care.
Money. It has to come down to money. That's what
I
it is.
care, Cedric.
Only I care. I care more.
No, you don't. I care more. I talked about it twice. You talked about 0 times. I care about more.
All right. So let's move on from No Case Gain. What's your 3B?
Black Light Shine. Black Light
Okay.
Shine.
I kind of knew you would do something like that, and that's annoying.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right. So my number 3 is. Should we wrap it up after my number 3, or is there
Depending how stupid
is there
your
anything
fucking
else you
number
want to talk
3 is.
about?
There was one song, as you say, number 3. I'll look at my last
So
things here.
blank. Okay, so blank condolences is my 3B here.
Oh, okay.
Should we talk about it then?
If you want to, I don't care. There's
Okay,
one
just real
song
quick.
lyrically I want to talk about, but otherwise I'm good.
Okay, so we'll just run through this real quick. I like the kind of jazzier drum beat here. Obviously, Willie is just a really accomplished jazz drummer. He's fucking awesome.
Super rad fills.
Yes, and the bass here is a little squirrely. It's nothing crazy, but it's enough to kind of keep you on your toes. And really, the interplay between Ava and Willie is fucking solid. It's really, really good. There's the synth in this really fills in the gaps. There's really no quiet moments. It's just this like soundscape, or this wall of just sound, but it never overtakes anything and never distracts you from anything. It's just a really well-made song. It really, really does. It's a really well-made song. Guitar, much like most of the record, it's very subtle. Little guitar leads, but nothing winky whatsoever. You think he's going to kind of do something crazy, but then he just, scales it back. Like, really, really scales it back. And he's just writing for the song.
This is
rather than
this is
waiting.
the song. This is the song. So this song is not a banger for me. It's an okay song, but this is the song where I thought like, okay, here we go. Here's where Omar's finally going to open up, explode, let loose. Because you hear that wow, that fucking that wah pedal come out, that super distorted wah pedal, wah, and then it's done. And you're like, wow, you've grown. You've grown up. Look at you. You're all grown up. I like it. I dig.
It's just so wild, to hear all of the guitar that is on this record and just how controlled it is. He's never been this disciplined.
It's crazy, right?
There really is a lot of guitar on this record.
It's
really
everywhere.
is. It's fucking everywhere, and you really gotta listen intently to hear it. But it's fucking everywhere, and it still has a signature style. It still kind of winks a little bit, but it's never ever takes the forefront. It's fantastic. It's great fucking songwriting on his part. But
Good stuff.
anyway, yeah, blank condolences. Lyrically on this one, I think this is just another betrayal song. He was betrayed by someone, and he's never gonna forget what they did to him, and he just hopes it haunts them forever. And he just kind of dwells on that. He just wants them to feel the pain that he feels from being betrayed by them. And this is probably about Scientology and relationships he had with people within Scientology. Maybe, the whole Juliette Lewis thing that kind of went down back in the day, and that's kind of the reason why they don't talk to Juan anymore, because of his relationship with her. So there's a lot of crazy things that happened in this era of the Mars Volta and Cedric's life. So that's what I have on this one. Do you have anything on it?
No, that's about it. But
so what?
Well, there's two more. So just lyrically, 'cause music, whatever. But Equus 3, that's an okay song for me. And then Flash Burns from Flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of, I like that title.
I know. I'm gonna write a little note real quick. Just hold on. Give me stretch.
So that's Flash Burns from Flashbacks is my 5B. This song has a very Radiohead electronic sound. The little piano parts work really well with it. I thought this was a solid song.
So like the reason why those two are of note to me, because I think these are the most, as far as I can decipher, the most personal lyrics that he's ever written. So if we go down to Equus 3, right, this is, I thought this was another song about Masterson, and this is a recurring theme, not about him as a person, but about what he's done, the ideology of him, who is backing him. But this time it's about like the empathy Cedric feels and how bad it hurts him that he just wants to die. So Cedric is feeling things, right? Empathy, you put yourself in other people's shoes. He is feeling these things, and it's because he can see it's hurting somebody else so bad that he wants to die. And then Flash Burns from Flashbacks. This one is also dealing with that, but like the rape allegations. And I think Cedric is coming to terms with how difficult the conversations are going to be with like your significant other, and like people we can't even like fathom what it would be like to have that conversation with your significant other, if you even need to have that conversation, if they want to have that conversation. I don't know. This is uncharted territory. And I think this song deals with that. This song deals with like, do I talk to this person about this? Do I let it go? Do I pretend it didn't happen? Do I embrace it? Like, what do I do? And so these are different like aspects of the healing process that is coming up with how do you deal with this? And like, I fucking don't know. Cedric clearly doesn't know. I don't think anybody really knows, but I think it's honest. I think it's an honest thing to come forward and think like, I don't know how to deal with this. Therefore, I'm going to write a pretty sad song. And the song itself is kind of sad. Like there's subtle like piano riffs going on there to add like the ambiance. And it's a good song. Not a banger for me, but it's a good fucking song. And it's kind of sad. It's kind of melancholy, kind of like drab, kind of like a rainy day in Portland. Just kind of sad.
These two songs, they should have I feel like sequencing wise, they should have been next to each other, only because of the lyrics. Because they are straight up about the Masterson trial and dealing with the her experience. You know, it's horrific. It's terrible. Just everything that they've gone through has just been awful. So,
what was the song on relationship? Was it about the factories in Juarez? Was it Invalid Letter Department, or is it?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was Invalid Letter Department. That was about like the factories in Juarez where like women are gone missing.
Yeah, it probably was.
Yeah.
Because Metronome. Metronome. It wasn't Metronome.
No, it wasn't Metronome Arthritis. No, I think it definitely was Invalid Letter Department.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like in Juarez, like all those Juarez murders and rapes and all, it was terrible. But I think this is like similar to that. It was a concept song. It was it wasn't just a standalone. I think it fits in with the overarching story of this album. I guess I'm in my record wrap up here in my final thoughts. Yeah. This song kind of like goes along with the whole concept of this album of just we are a new band, we are new people, we are not who we were, 10 years prior to this. We are not who we were 25 years prior to this. We are different. We still have the same kind of like drive forward in music that we want to achieve, but emotionally we are not the same people. Omar's not the same person. Cedric's not the same person. And I love that we, I guess, could finally relate to Cedric lyrically, because I don't know. I've never related to him lyrically because I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
I know. He's so abstract and just out there.
And it's purposeful. It's purposeful because he prides himself on being abstract and out there. So I like that. Like now I'm growing older. He's growing older. They're growing older. We're able to relate to each other, even though I will probably never meet Omar again after the first time we met him.
After that awkward moment. Oh, God. And you made it so much more awkward, too.
I loved it. That was one of my favorites. I just, you know what I mean? Like, people change. People change, hopefully for the better. And this album proves that the Mars Volta have changed for the better. And I don't want to hear another Delouse. I don't want to hear another Francis. I don't want to hear another Ambitecture. Because I want to hear this. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by this. Even the bad of this is still pretty good. And again, I compared the ending of this to like the end of The Sopranos. At first, I was pissed. At first, I was just like everybody else. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why the fuck would you not? I just spent 7 seasons with you, dude. Like, why would you not give me closure? But then, like, you get to the root of the problem. Like, why do you always need closure? Why do you need to be spoon-fed every single fucking thing in your life?
The Sopranos is one of the greatest endings to any TV show ever. I think it's perfect.
It's just it's great. Why is this human nature to like need a constant like end to everything when we can't even don't even understand our own existence, for God's sake?
Why do you need it? Why do you need an explanation for everything that you consume? That's the biggest issue with like what's going on in the movie industry over the last 15 years. Why do we need a prequel for every single thing we watch? Why do we need to see an origin story for every single thing?
Everybody. Just
let it fucking be. Just tell the story, end it. That's it. That's all. You don't need a huge closure. You don't need origins, nothing. Sopranos is a perfect show. Sopranos, Peaky Blinders, perfect shows. Home Improvement, perfect show.
Okay, all right, we're getting a little crazy here. So, yeah. So I don't know. This album, I still don't know if I love it or if I hate it or if I'm just blind because it's new. I honestly I have no fucking idea. I ordered on the vinyls, so I'll be listening again in the next couple weeks. But for now, I enjoyed my listen through this week. It's been wild. I don't think we've ever done an album in the week where I've gone into it hating it and then left like loving it, but to the point where I don't even know what the fuck I'm listening to. It could be a long con. I have no idea what's going on, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a more mature step back, saying like, yes, we've done all that before, but here's where we're at now. I respect that. I do. They sound crazy, okay? They sound
Okay.
crazy. It's not
Okay.
perfect because not every song there is perfect.
No, it's not perfect. No.
But I think what this did is ambitious. And again, I think this is some of the most, if not the most ambitious, the Mars Volta has ever been. Coming off the coattails of At the Drive-In into Tremulant into Delouse. That's a progression that you can see, you can hear.
Mhm.
This makes no fucking sense. This is a 2.8. This is a 2.8. I'm gonna give it 2.8
Damn, that's really high. I can't
2.8.
believe you gave it this high.
because I respect it. I respect how fucking weird it is. I respect how bizarre it is. I respect how abstract it is. But I also respect like how it kind of like Last Jedi this shit. Like it appeals to all
Oh.
generations of Omar lovers. It really does. It's just fan service. It's fan service buried under pretty damn good writing.
So anybody listening, if you don't know, our world famous 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album, you're oh my god, you're going to continue to
Slow
listen
down.
to.
Oh.
1 is a bad album, but give it a shot, and 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. And you gave it a 2.8. So kind of going off of, all the Scientology stuff we've talked about, we didn't even touch upon this at all, but the recording of this record, they recorded this record entirely in secret because they were afraid that, their hard drives would be hacked and the cloud.
People like you would fucking shit all over them. That's what they're afraid of.
No, wait, what?
Yeah, they were afraid
What?
they were afraid of people like you. If their hard drive got hacked and like demos of these tracks came out, they were afraid of people like you and fucking friend of the pod Skip. Be like, oh, this is not the Mars Volta we like. That's what they were afraid of. They weren't
No.
afraid of their fire just being hacked. They're afraid of the fucking bad publicity because shitheads like you.
No. So
Absolutely, that's what everybody's afraid
So
of.
what they did is they rented a house in I can't remember, somewhere in the LA County area, and they rented it over supposedly like 10 days, but I'm sure it was longer than that. And they recorded a bunch of things, a bunch of ideas and this and that. And then after that, they were actually sending CDs of ideas and songs via the postal service, because they were so afraid that if they uploaded it to a cloud service or whatever, it would get hacked and just deleted and destroyed or whatever, this or that, whatever. So everything was kind of created that way, and that's cool. It's just like, it's just so different and so just kind of old school style, and I really
It's not.
thought that was cool, but
It's not.
but
Cool,
it was done
it's
in a bad
necessary.
circumstance.
It's necessary.
It was necessary, yeah.
If these songs were leaked before they were finished, hardcore Mars Volta fans would have shit all over these.
This record was quite the progression from everything they've ever done. I know you mentioned like you never really heard anything like this from the band, but if you kind of dive a little bit into Omar's solo stuff, Taiko Zorente that he put out back in 2010 or 2011, the one with Zemena, that's a very, very electronic based record. I love that record to death. That has a lot of the style, or some of the stylings that you hear on this record, along with the more current stuff like the last At the Drive-In record that we talked about. There's so much going on. I feel like this is just a great combination of the weirdness that Omar has done over the last 15 years. That's what's been put into this record, and it sounds fantastic. I love this record. It, like I said before, it has many ups and downs, but with each listen, I like it more. I notice things here and there, and I feel like that's what makes this record so great, is that I notice all these different things, and it's fantastic. And with that, I'm going to have to give this record, I'll give it a 2.5. I'll give it a 2.5 out of 3.
Okay.
Definitely a 2.5 out of 3 for me.
Cool.
There are like the song Vigil. I can't totally get behind that. It's not that great of a song.
It's not.
It really isn't. But the rest of the record makes up for it.
Like, do you at least
Omar's production does.
respect? Do you at least respect the requisition, right? Like, if the Mars Volta never release another song ever in the course of our life. The requisition that is like Sopranos
It's a great
ending,
ender.
right? Like do you agree that's like Sopranos style ending? Like just fucking cut it, done. Like what the fuck is going on? Fade to black.
I think it is a great ending. It's a great ending to the record. I like that shit. I never really I didn't think about it until you brought it up, but no, I understand.
Dude, the first time I listened to it, I had to like look at because it was Spotify. I look at Spotify. I was like, "Is this like did it skip a song? Like where's the rest of the song?" Like, no, that's all you get, bro. That's it. That's all.
Maybe that's kind of like the entire record, because remember when Only Black Light Shines was out and people were saying, "Oh, there's no way this is just like a standalone song. It's too, it ends too abruptly. It has to be part of like a big prog song,
some Sweet or something."
Yeah, but no, it's not that
Nope.
at all. It's just everything is so individual. Everything cuts off from one another. I mean, honestly, this album doesn't really flow that well, but the songs are still really good. I don't know.
If we'd have done this like this recording, I don't know, 4 days ago, I would have gave this like a 1.5. I fucking hated this like 4 days ago. I just could not stand this fucking album.
Oh shit, that's great. It's great though.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, I don't know. Do we have anything else on this record, or the Mars Volta, or Tom DeLonge, or anything?
Well, if you want to talk about Blink-182, we'll talk about Blink-182 all fucking night. I mean, you want to do that? Well, no.
Gotta wait till Thursday night. All right, well, thank you all for listening. You know the drill. Give us 5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Keep listening, subscribe, tell all your friends, and that's it. That's all. What? Yeah, so Norwegian Wood is my number 2, and then Day of the Baphomets, but from the Mars Volta, is my number 3. You brought this up earlier. I can't even speak right now. Oh, that was terrible.
So I don't know. Like, who the fuck? Nobody even reads books. I don't read books. So if I open a restaurant,
Have you ever read books?
no, I've never read a book in my
Since high
fucking
school?
life. I'm not an idiot.
high
I
school?
don't read fucking
Yeah.
books. What kind of idiot reads books? That's stupid. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb. I don't read books. I'm not an idiot. Okay, dork. Like the vulture in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. This is the most ambitiously brave thing they've ever done. Straight up. Like this is the
Anything they've ever done?
ever.
Ah,
Ever.
come on.
Ever. I'm gonna tell you why. You ready? You sitting down?
Yes, I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because you
I'm
might
ready.
fucking pass out because you're so stupid. This is the most ambitious, brave thing they've ever done. It's the last song on the album.